I'm live. Alright, so if anybody is in the chat, why don't you let me know how my sound quality is? Alright, guys, let's find us a key. Let's see. Hey, what's going on, Apocalypse? I'm glad that you decided to join to do a key with me today. What's up, Atish? How you doing, man? I got Apocalypse to come and do keys with us today. And actually, I wanted to let you guys know we haven't figured out a definitive date yet, but I'm gonna have Soul as a guest on my live stream sometime in the next week or two. I'll be sure to let you guys know in the description of an upcoming video as soon as we figure out like a solidified date. I'll keep all y'all updated on that. I'll tell you, as a DPS, in a plus 10 with the healer and Demon Hunter DPS that I have with us, I honestly think that there's going to be almost no way for us to like have a full group wipe. Like, it would take some honest effort to wipe this group in a 10. I gotta tell you. I've soloed some massive pulls in like 15s, 16s before. Demon Hunters are just overpowered, I think. Frankly. Hey guys, those of you who are watching, let me know right now if you're still in chat. Is the music too loud? Do I need to turn it down some, or? Actually, shit, I need to change that to some non-copyright music, don't I? You know what, fuck it. No music. It's okay. Hang on, I can probably find a non-copyright stream. Just got to be real careful about that. Copywriting strikes are no fun. Alright, sweet. This here Electronica Dubstep channel is not copyright. That could be nice. Oh, I am pulling without me, okay. It's okay. This DPS can very frankly handle it without me. Look at them fucking numbers, man. If you could do me a favor though, since you are a hunter, Apocalypse, if you do pull for me, please just misdirect, because it is skittish this week. Like, I don't think anybody's gonna die very easily, but misdirect at least helps me gain threat. Shit, guys. So, Atish, do you still play? Oh, son of a bitch. Forgot I didn't clear the ads over here. My bad. Sorry, guys. I noobed. Sorry, guys. Dude, the new trailer for Darksiders 3 is looking pretty wild. Like, for real, I thought that looked fun. I was real excited as soon as I saw it. Tell you the truth, I wasn't a huge fan of Darksiders 2. The first one was a lot of fun to me. But, I don't know. I just really didn't like the way that the second one handled the gameplay. Because they tried to keep it similar while adding a lot of new aspects to it, and to me it feels like they just overcomplicated it instead of improving anything. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like it when games do that. Like, what's the point in overcomplicating it to such a level when people already struggle to fucking beat the game? I don't know. Yeah, dude, I'm with you. I don't know if you guys ever played Dante's Inferno, man, but that was hands down as far as like action RPG games go. Like, that was without a doubt my all-time favorite. Game was a ton of fun. I love the gameplay style. The combat was really well put together. Graphics were astonishing for the time. You said Darksiders was the best? Yeah, I suppose so. I really, really, really like the storyline of it. Atish, out of like every video game you played growing up, what was your all-time favorite? Now, I know that's a really hard question, so I'll make it a little bit easier. What was your favorite series of games while growing up? Because I gotta say, my favorite series, definitely that title's held by Kingdom Hearts. I have always had a hell of a love for that game. I even loved all the lame ones that they came out with on like the Game Boy and shit. Everybody hated those games, dude, but I loved them just because I loved the story of it. I was always a big Final Fantasy nerd when I was a kid too, so like when they made it into Kingdom Hearts, I was like, ooh, this is fun. Very enjoyable to me. It's a very aggressive storyline too, without being like unnecessarily violent and gory like so many seem to be. Okay, so let's hear your top 5 then. If you can give me a top 5, that's better than nothing. What you got? What you got? Damn it, I didn't move in time. Stupid AoE stuns. I need to turn my graphics up some. Having trouble seeing them. Stalker, that was a really good one. Stalker was definitely a good one. I don't know if you ever played Grab by the Ghoulies, man. But that was another good one on my list. Skyrim, of course. The entire Elder Scrolls series in its entirety, man. Like, people had a lot of bad shit to say about Oblivion, too, but Oblivion I thought was amazing in its own merit. It was very unique for its time. Origins is, of course, fantastic. And Witcher. That's a good final answer, man, for real. The entire Witcher, I mean, Witcher 3 in itself was astounding. Like, my God, is that game, it's just so one of a kind. But as far as like the entire Witcher series goes, it's just awesome. The storyline sucks you in so hard, dude. How do they dumb it down? I haven't played Skyrim in a long time. I don't know if you heard me. Oh, there we go. I didn't know if you were able to hear my answer. Smaller world and a lot of other shit. Dude, that was the thing that I loved about Skyrim the most, was how they were able to create a world so big and so graphically sound at the same time while having a story that fills it. Like, it didn't just feel like a big empty world with a game like that. Damn it, I hit a trap. It felt like a big interactive world, the same way that people liked WoW so much more than like Star Wars Galaxies, dude. Because Star Wars Galaxies had the exact same falter. It was massive, yeah, and it was for its time graphically pretty good. But like, WoW just trashed it with, even though it had a smaller world, everything was so much more interactive, so much more immersive. Yeah, definitely. It's always been a good one. Oh, I can't get myself around that wall now. Great. There we go. Got it. I haven't played Morrowind, actually. I've heard some really crazy things, but I have not given that one a try myself. Man, I missed out, like, I feel like, on some of these really, really big, really popular games that everybody loved, just because I frankly have just spent so many years playing WoW. Like so many years. Right on, man. Take your time.
1.
Come on, there's got to be somebody else in chat who wants to talk. Give me just 1 second, guys. I am so sorry. And I am back. I am very sorry for the interruption. So chat, even with 8 people watching, it's still going to be this quiet. Guys. Well, that was just a little bit on the sad side. 970 item level, almost a 3k IO, and still somehow managed to wipe in a +10. That was so sad. Hey, what's going on, Atish? Glad you're back, bud. I just had one of the most pathetic keystone wipes I've had in a very long time. Not very often am I not able to solo a boss in a +10. Especially the last, like, 10% of it. Like, come on now. And no help interrupting that fear either. Okay. And hey, look, we solved that problem because I got help interrupting. Right on, guys. I don't know who it was who did that, but thank you very much. Primarily WoW content, but in the near future, if a game comes out that I'm like real stoked about, then I will most definitely do some coverage about it. I mean, I would label this as a gaming channel. Gabriel, to answer your question, I actually got a tip on the Demon Hunter Discord, and a way to help me min-max my potential and really high-level Mythic Plus based on my relic traits that I have, which increase fire damage that I do massively. Like, massively, which also then stacks with my talent that increases the fire damage done with Fiery Brand active, also making it spread. And then I use Fell Devastation to complement that. Which, in a way, is kind of derived from a standard Vengeance Demon Hunter PvP build, but I actually perform DPS and survivability-wise based on Leech out of pure damage much better with this build than I do with the Spirit Bomb build. I don't really like the Spirit Bomb build. I feel like it's a little bit on the clunky side. Here, these are the ones that I use right here. Basically, it allows me to do the most DPS like possible, like as quick as possible, and then have a reasonable amount of sustain because of dots past that.
2, 1.
After we finish this keystone, I will pull them back up and give you any other explanation that you need on it or have any questions about it. Oh, Taunts on cooldown. Come on, Skittish. Give him back. Yeah, there we go. Where's my purple thingy? There we go. It's honestly, I've never seen a build even similar to this outside of PvP more than a couple of times. So I found myself struggling with DPS output in like really high level keystones, like 20s, 20 to 22, something like that. I just needed more damage output because I just plainly didn't have enough self healing to make up for my missing leech, because I didn't have the right relics, the best in slot relics that allowed me to get off more soul fragments, get more self heal. So with an increased fire damage, it is very, very resourceful. Oh, actually, this is a prospective employer calling me. Give me one more moment, everybody. And I don't know those of you who actually do give a shit, but those who do, that is a locked in place schedule and a new job. So now I can start working on coming up with a like official schedule to stream with you guys on, which is pretty exciting for me. I would love to do I would love to be able to stream more with you guys and how interactive y'all can be. Actually, you really didn't do that bad, dude. I mean, your overall DPS during that boss fight, which is a hard boss fight to have sustained DPS on, I mean, look, you did 1.27 mil. Like, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. I didn't have any problems with threat off of you or anything. You used misdirect after I asked you to. I mean, really, you did great, in my opinion. Thank you very, very much, Apocalypse and Atish. All right. I actually think I might do some twos. I've done so many keys this week. Thank you very much for coming for that Keystone Apocalypse. Very, very much appreciated. Alright, I don't know if you guys have ever seen a Vengeance Havoc Demon Hunter 2's combo, but unless we come up against a team with a really good healer, we seem to stand our own pretty well, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Kind of surprised, to be honest with you. Oh, I'm so sick of people calling me right now. I'm not even going to answer this one. And arena battle incoming. What's great, guys, is with the spec build that I happen to use, I don't even have to change talents to go into PvP. Well, I could if I wanted maximum performance, but I really don't need to. What a waste. Disappointing. One down. And none left. Is anybody else still in chat at the moment? Atish, Apocalypse, or anybody along them lines? Anybody who actually, you know, talks in chat? Silent people are, I mean, I appreciate you stopping by, but it's always nice to have engaging people in the chat. Oh, sweet. At least somebody's still there. Right on. Yeah, I know. It probably has quite a bit to do with the fact that I'm advertising keystones, but doing PvP. Oh, no. I missed him. Oh yeah, see, this is one of those teams with a really, really good healer. There's no way that I could do this with the amount of DPS that I'm outputting. It just ain't gonna happen. What's going on, Apocalypse? What's going on, my dude? Oh, this shaman is so good. This is going to be endless because this hunter kind of sucks. And I don't think he's going to be able to kill my partner very easily. Oh, you're not going to win this, hunter. Somebody's, now, I don't know about you guys in chat, but from the way that I can see it, one of our two teams are just going to give up before the other one. Because this hunter can't kill me or my partner by himself, it doesn't seem like. Too much leech. All the demon hunterness. Dude, I'm telling you, demon hunters are so beyond overpowered, man. Like, it just... It amazes the crap out of me. Oh, nope, they got us. They got us. Were you asking me, Atish? Like, what are my favorite games? Or were you asking Apocalypse? Come on, Hunter. You really think I'm going to give up that easy? Come on, guys. Nice try. Finally. Dude, I got to tell you the truth. Like, even though I got a really good gaming rig, I usually get fantastic like quality as far as my latency and stuff goes. I do not enjoy Havoc. Like I really do not enjoy Havoc at all. I found it very boring, very gain and spend. Like it didn't have any secondary resource. It was literally when you use the demonic build, it's literally I beam Chaos Strike, I beam Chaos Strike, like just over and over and over and over and over again. Like it really isn't any fun to me. But to answer your question, Atish, my all-time favorite games. Number 5, I would have to say would be the entire Elder Scrolls series. All the Elder Scrolls games are just fucking astonishing in my eyes. I love them very, very much. I loved Battlefield, but I'm still not a very big first-person shooter type of guy. Like I'm really not. Doom was definitely a childhood favorite of mine. Now this isn't a video game, but I played a ton of Dungeons and Dragons as a kid. Like a ton of Dungeons and Dragons as a kid, for real. So that's definitely on my favorite games list if I can count that. I'd have to say my all-time favorite though is without a question WoW. How am I gonna lose to a Demon Hunter Mage combination? Like, what is that? Boom. I'm not going down easy though if I do lose, I'll tell you what. Die, Demon Hunter. Ooh, got him. Got him, boys. I might have this one. I might have this one. Nice try with your greater pyroblast, you big baby. No, not the disorient. Oh, he got me. No. Dude, I've always loved tabletop games, and yes, I did play 40K. Warhammer was definitely a solid game. Honestly, I really liked its original counterpart, Warhammer Online. I thought it was a lot. I just thought it was a lot better put together. You know, it wasn't quite as bad to me. Did you, Apocalypse, did you play Dark Age of Camelot or EverQuest, either of those? I had a blast with Dark Age of Camelot when I was a teenager. Oh, I had a total blast with it. Always a good time. See, that's why I feel like a lot of people are put off of WoW too, is because of the like really massive and expansive lore that's behind it, you know? What was it that caused your bad introduction to MMOs, bro? If you don't mind me asking, that's not too personal of a question, because believe me, I know I have a couple of friends who had themselves a pretty bad introduction due to like parents and stuff like that with MMOs, especially them getting themselves like way too hooked. It's always a bit of a deterring experience to see something like that. I already have almost every class at 110 between Horde and Alliance. At this point, it's really just a pick of like what class and faction I want to play. Because I'm really, really, really wanting to roll a warrior like so badly, dude. Fury looks like so much fun, but at the same time, I'm not giving up on my Vengeance tank because Vengeance is so many kinds of OP at the moment. Oh, I see, dude. I understand, Apocalypse. Hey, Lori, how's it going? Nice to see you. I appreciate you coming by. And yes, I did shave my beard. I had a final interview today with a new prospective company that I'm getting hired on at the moment. I'm about to be hired on as one of the 3 general managers, like store managers over a Sam's Club warehouse. I actually got a phone call while I was on stream today, finalizing that and giving me a set schedule. And my dad did something relatively similar to me when I first started playing WoW. I'm trying to remember. Okay, I remember it was a dwarf hunter. I started a dwarf hunter, and I was trying to do my pet quest. Now I wandered way farther off than I should have, and ended up walking myself into the tunnel toward the wetlands somehow, like unbeknownst to me. You know, well before like quest hubs and notify and like quest notifications and stuff like that. Even before Quest Helper was invented as an add-on, I found my way, wandered into the wetlands. I went through that big tunnel that leads into Loch Modan or wetlands either, and I found some like skull level mobs. They were some orcs, and man, they trashed me over and over and over again to the point where I just had to like step by step, like run all the way back from the graveyard in Menethil Harbor. I had to run all the way back from that graveyard to that tunnel over and over and over again just to get like 10 steps before I'd get one shot by another asshole orc. And then I just have to keep doing it. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, it took me like 3.5 or 4 hours of like in-game played time, like slash played time, to actually manage my way out of that situation. Because I seriously spent like 2 whole afternoons trying to get myself back to where I was, and it was not a fun experience. Oh, it was not a fun experience at all. Oh, you mean all those zebras that just happen to not have hoofs? Any of them, any of them. Like 1 in 30 of those zebras will have a hoof, 1 of 4 hoofs. Like Blizzard's Blizzard's RNG as far as like immersion goes with those old quests, man, was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. Oh, dude, in that tunnel lorry, seriously, it was bad. It was so bad. I cannot remember what content creator it was. I'm thinking it was Preach Gaming or something. But when they were telling, no, it was one of Preach's drama times that he does. It was a similar story about a dude who was starting a druid, and he ended up in Fellwood because he walked through the tunnel that leads from Moonglade to Fellwood when he was doing his bear quest, and ended up getting himself stuck in Fellwood for like days. Like, because of that, he quit playing WoW for like 4 months just because he got so pissed. Oh, got you with my AoE fear, bro. Be sad. Yeah, seriously, dude. When you what were they? The stone tusked boars, dude. It told you to collect like 4 or 5 livers, I think, if I'm not mistaken. It was either that or it was the quest in Westfall when you had to do the Westfall stew. It was one of those two, and like it was like 1 in every 40 of those damned boars. 1 in every 40 of those damn boars would have a liver or a tusk or a snout or whatever it was that you had to loot for those quests. Dude, that was such a dark time for Warcraft. Like, I'm excited for vanilla servers, guys, but I don't know that I will be able to just play vanilla WoW. I had a great time. I had a great experience raiding, a great experience PvPing at a relatively competitive level. Like, I don't know that I want to do that again. Like, I understand classic servers for the, like, really hardcore, dedicated fanboys, you know? Like, they're the ones that really, really want it, but it's either them or people who never experienced it, in my opinion. And the people who experienced it to a level I did but didn't get totally hooked, they are going to learn the hard way. They're going to learn the hard way. Like, it's not as glamorous as everybody thinks. I mean, I'm probably going to raid some. I might try to grind to like rank 9 or rank 10 in PvP at least once, just for the fun of it, but shit. Yes, dude. How do the bears live without hearts? I remember that questing in that shit. That was so bad. Blizzard, I thought this game was supposed to be immersive, guys. What's wrong with you? Like, you're breaking my immersion, Blizzard. It pisses me off. Don't do that anymore. Don't break a nerd's immersion. That is not a good idea. We get pissy. Good luck, Fury Warrior. Yeah, for real, dude. Like, again, I am a huge vanilla server supporter. Because, and it's not even necessarily that I'm, like, obsessed with reliving those glory days that I had so many years ago in the plains of Westfall and the Glades of Elwyn Forest. You know, everybody had an experience like that. But it is so long over for me. Like, I burned myself out hardcore back then. I can never do that again. That's not a bad idea, Lori. I am not surprised at all that there was a crazy quest bug like that during vanilla. There was so many of them. In fact, if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure there were 2 or 3 entire quest lines in the Eastern and Western Plaguelands that were either cut off like after 2 or 3 quests because Blizzard decided to abandon that project, or they were so badly bugged that you had an almost impossible likelihood of actually being able to finish the quest. Oh, again, I love it too, and I really don't have any trash to talk about vanilla. I have beautiful, beautiful memories of that time in the game, but I just don't know that that is going to be as fun as it was. You know, I mean, people can call Modern WoW trash all they want, dude, but like, look at the pace of the game. Look at the way it's changed. The way that you don't have to grind mobs to get and do to whatever level because there's only half enough quests to get you to max level. Like, I very distinctly remember grinding from 53 to 60 on 3 different characters in Winter Spring just because of how bad, like, quest XP was. Now, it has been proven that there are enough quests for each faction to get yourself, like, a bar away from 60, like, all the way through 59, right into 60, like, just into 60, with only quests, only having to then officially grind for, like, almost nothing of a level, you know, aside if you exclude quest mob grinding and stuff for drop rates and everything. But, is it really worth the trouble of jumping back and forth between zones to get to the level, to get to the correct level area, to get access to those quests that were barred off for a higher level for some stupid ass reason because there were only 3 of them in the area at that kind of a level? Oh man, it just, when I think back on it, like, I don't think Classic WoW will hold anything by today's gaming standards. I think that it will do well initially, and I think there will be a very large continuing follower base, but I do not think that that will continue permanently. I think, aside from the few people who've been playing religiously on vanilla private servers and stuff for all these years, I think they're going to be one of the few groups of people that actually stick around for, like, all the bullshit. Because today's gaming standards are really high. They're so high. And I mean, if not the really low res graphics by themselves, but the sheer difficulty and like complicated nature of everything, like specifically speaking stuff like attunement quests and everything, like I don't know that your average heroic raider today would be able to put up with what bullshit raiding put you through back then. At all. Oh, a ton of people love it. Like, there's so many people out there that are supporters of it. And in my opinion, I think it is legitimately asinine of Blizzard to, for so long, deny the classic community what they crave so badly. Like, that's just such a bad business move for them. They're missing out on so much potential money. But that being said, I still do not personally feel like I will enjoy myself very immensely in a classic World of Warcraft situation again. I don't think that I will find myself very happy in that situation again. Oh, dude, that was the only way to get your basic mount at 40. Like, if you didn't want to have to wait until you were like 48 to 52 to get like your mount of normal means, you had to be an auction house like shark. You had to have some kind of gathering profession. You had to do something to be able to make little chunks of gold here and there when you go back into your major city to you know, train your abilities and stuff, maybe get yourself a little bit of better equipment and everything, restock on consumables. Oh boy. In all honesty, I think I'm going to enjoy myself in vanilla servers for a while. I'm probably going to stream the content as well, but like, how long that will last, I have no idea. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a pretty good point because they don't have to pay for subs, which, I mean, a lot of people, that from what I hear, that's a pretty solid reason that so many people have come back to WoW in Legion, because they've heard from other people who actively play that you don't have to pay your real life money for the subscription if you play enough. You know, you can pay for it in gold. It may be an obscene amount of gold, but I mean, I haven't paid cash for my subscription legitimately since the WoW token was like initiated in the first place. Like, ever since the auction house system of the WoW token was initiated, I have not paid for a single month subscription. I haven't had a need to. Hey, we won. Right on. And my dude Deadheady was at the top of the list. There you go, bro. Shout out to you. Good fucking job. Oh yeah, dude, because cooking was so important back then. Like cooking and alchemy were the professions back then. Like there's no doubt about that whatsoever. Cooking and herbalism were so much of a necessity to have anything to do with like even standard dungeon content like UBRS 10 or 15 man Skullomance and Strathholm before they were nerfed down to 5-player dungeons. Like, you had to have these consumables. So for people who, like, even low-level people who are just trying to make a little bit of money, like, putting that stuff on the auction house is pivotal to the economy of a situation like Vanilla WoW, because there's going to be only half as many people out there farming because there's so much more to do all the time. No, don't worry, Atish. I'm pretty sure all of us were noobs. Like, really, really, really bad noobs at one point or another. Oh, man. Shit. I'm still kind of a noob. Hey. I'm pretty sure all of us are guilty of this mistake at one point or another throughout our time playing World of Warcraft, alright? I'm pretty sure at least, like, all of us have been fooled at least once by a female avatar thinking they were actually a female. Alright, guys, well, my PvP/Keystone partner had to go for the day, and I don't have anybody else on who's usually up for doing that kind of fun stuff. So is there anything y'all want to talk about? Any questions you want to ask me, or any stories you want to hear, anything along those lines? Don't worry, guys, I'm not shy. I'll answer pretty much anything you ask me. He said I didn't play for a week after I found out. That's good, dude. Laura, you thought you lost him forever. Oh, that's a little sad, though. Like, for real, that's a little on the sad side. Oh, that's really good, guys. Y'all cracked me up, seriously. He said I came to WoW knowing that girls don't play games. Well, my favorite Legion dungeon. Oh, that's such a hard question, dude. Especially, like, because I love pushing my IO. I love pushing that score and doing, like, unnecessarily high keystones to no extra benefit other than the challenge of it. I would say my favorite dungeon altogether would probably be Nelth's Lair. Either Nelth's Lair or Vault of the Wardens. I love Vault of the Wardens, but Nelth's Lair is definitely my favorite to have as a keystone because it's the easiest. Like by such a large margin is that the easiest dungeon on the list for high level Mythic Plus. Like in almost any affix combination too. Like there's very few affixes that can make Neltharian's Lair impossibly difficult at any level. Like I can do a Nelth's Lair higher than I can do any other keystone without a struggle, just because it's like, you know, really mechanically easy. As long as I can survive the hits from the second boss, then I'm good. Next thing you know, world PvP big time. Dude, I remember doing like all the Children's Week content. I thought it was so much fun. Like taking the orphan and like taking them around to all the different sites and stuff that they wanted to see. I thought that was a really interesting, you know, micro holiday. I thought Blizzard did a really good job with that. My favorite raid of all time, probably ICC. And not just because I was a huge like Warcraft 3 fanboy. Like, I mean, I loved Warcraft 3. It was amazing. And like to have the thought of fighting and killing Arthas finally, and like having that final showdown on the top of the Ice Crown Citadel, like to me that was really cool. I really enjoyed that. But not only that, that was one of my first experiences of like very dedicated hardcore raiding, like on my own part, where I wasn't partially being carried and having everything explained to me multiple times by my guildies. Like during Ulduar and previous to that, one of my dad's friends was our raid leader, and when Wrath came out, like pretty much everybody from our at first 40-man raid team, then turned 25-man raid team. And then now, like, when Wrath came out, it just fell apart because everybody thought it was, you know, the noob expansion. They thought it was all way unnecessarily easy. I personally disagreed with that. I thought Wrath had many challenges in its own that no other expansion had, specifically out of amount of content that you can do daily. But, like, I took over our raiding team and decided to step up and raid lead when, like, right when ICC came out. And, man, that experience to me was so different and so hard, because I mean we were just a 10-man heroic guild, and then decided to expand to a 25-man heroic progression. Now keep in mind, I was on Illidan. You know, I don't know if you guys know anything about the server because I'm still here. It's the hands down the most elitist server that I can think of. Like, there's very few other servers that have as many top 100 mythic progression guilds on it as this one. I just we definitely weren't in any kind of realm first situation by any means, but we were good. We were really good. We had this mage, this fire mage named Canicus, dude. He could pull, without the ICC buff, this dude could pull like 29k DPS single target. Had no clue how he did it. And he was the only fire mage I'd ever seen pull damage like that. Like, to pull damage like that, the only other person I've seen doing that is Arcane. So when we finally got through that raid and we downed Arthas after like 107 wipes. I'm pretty sure we got 107 wipes. We finally downed him. Got my Light of Dawn title, but did not win the role on Invincible. Never downed the Lich King again during current content after that. And since then have yet to see Invincible drop again. Now, I think the Rotmal, I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce your name there, but I think that you have a pretty good point. I actually made a video about that a couple weeks back called Sargeras has been a pawn of the void. Sargeras has been a pawn of the void. I can't remember exactly what I titled it. That pretty effectively got into that point to a reasonable detail. I stated, like, if Norganon was the one who wrote Chronicle, because everybody puts, Pyromancer's head on a stake. I don't necessarily have a super duper high regard for him as a person necessarily, but as a content creator, he does a good job. He works really hard at what he does. I respect what he does. It's very difficult. But him saying that the Chronicle is incorrect, I don't know. I think maybe Blizzard is purposefully playing into that, because if Norganon, who was a member of the Titan Pantheon, was the initial record keeper, then who's to say that he wasn't influenced and corrupted in the exact same way that the Titans were, causing the imbalance in the primal forces of the Warcraft universe, the same way that the Burning Legion would have done by overtaking everything with chaos. Oh, I noticed you retracted a message there, the Rotmaw. There's not really too much that you can say to offend or frustrate me whatsoever. I'm a very chill guy. And that goes for all of you guys, too. If any of you have something that you might have a little bit of reservations about saying, like, as long as it's not blatantly cold-hearted and racist, like, I really don't give a shit. Just say what you need to say, get it over with. I mean, if you think I'm an asshole, you think I don't do good at what I do, then tell me, you know what I mean? I would much prefer you tell me honestly your opinion on my content so that I can improve on my problems, instead of people just, like, quietly disagreeing with me. I would much rather people vocalize it. Apocalypse, I agree with you completely on that, dude. The Discs of Norganon being transcribed by the next races would sound a lot like Chronicles. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, isn't Chronicle basically written off of the Discs of Norganon? Like, I mean, I know that it was written by a person. That's not what I'm saying, but isn't that kind of like where the idea of Chronicle came from? Was from a similar, aspect of what do you call it? From a similar aspect of, Norganon's record keeping with his various different discs of information. Because I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I may be mistaken, but... Dude, I miss my beard too, to tell you the truth. I mean, I was told today at the job that I can have facial hair as long as it's, not ridiculous. So I'm probably just gonna grow my beard back. I don't know how big I'm gonna get it, but I'm at least gonna start working on it again, starting today. What is it exactly, Apocalypse, that isn't confirmed? If you could iterate on that a little bit for me. Agreed, dude. I like the warmth a beard provides. Like, when I let it grow out to a pretty decent size, I find that when I finally do shave it off, dude, like, even though it's the middle of summer, my face gets cold. Like, my face gets really noticeably cold. Okay, yeah, if that's what you're talking about. I know that that's not necessarily confirmed, but, like, Blizzard really, really should kind of make that a statement, because otherwise it feels like, I mean, where did Chronicle kind of come from? Where would the information, at least from a lore perspective, where would the information from Chronicle have come from? Like, there had to have been some kind of translation done here, you know what I mean? So, like, why not translate the Discs of Norganon so that we could, like, or at least make a quest line, or make that part of our, like, raid questing, like the preemptive quest up to a raid, to like have us finally be able to translate the discs of Norganon and allow us to kind of see what the Titans' actual plan was on Azeroth, because at least by my perspective, that's what those discs that exist in Uldaman have on record. I'm pretty sure, at least. Dude, Rotmal, you just called like a video that I'm you just like totally called me out on a video topic that I am putting out in about a week. It's going to be a little bit of a long topic, so it's going to take me a bit to piece the video together the way that I want it. But that is a very good point. All the 3 lies very well may be volumes Chronicle volumes 1, 2, and 3. That's a good outlook. I really don't want to talk too much about it now because I feel like I'm going to spoil my video. That's why I'm kind of excitedly being vague here. But like, you see exactly what I'm seeing as far as I can tell, bro. We do see them in Uldir. I honestly have no idea. Like, I don't personally have beta access. I try to avoid watching footage on beta for new expansions, dude, because I'm such a lore nut. I'm such a I'm frankly just a like a true, honest to God Warcraft nerd through and through. Like I have been for such a massive chunk of my life. I cannot bring myself to watch beta footage. Like, if that does exist in Uldir, like, I don't know, that might actually be a little bit of a hint, because there's more records right there, particularly with the questions that we have about like the specified bits of information to the origins of things like Gahun. Like, it's been stated clearly that he was an experiment of the Titans, but like, why did they try that exactly? Why did they just lock it away instead of trying to destroy it? I mean, it's not like the thing was rooted into Azeroth the same way an Old God is. It could probably be destroyed without harming the World Soul. I think there might be some kind of insinuating backlight reason that Blizzard's just kind of trying to keep to themselves. I never thought that I had a weak chin. I just really like the to what you said, Lori. I just really I like the feeling of having a beard, like, because I think so much, especially with the fact that I started creating content now. I'm sitting there like with my face in my computer so much, just trying to think and trying to find some inspiration, that I find having a beard to play with and stroke is like, it's therapeutic in its own way. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only way I can really describe it. Um, I'm pretty sure that Argus is definitely like the final answer to the universe, because like, it obviously all life has to be consumed by death. Like, that's the way the universe works. That's how it's always worked. That's the way it's going to continue to work, which to me is interesting, the way that the Titan pantheon like push away all forms of death and corruption just to like pursue their agenda, to pursue like the growth of life and all things like that, and to avoid death and corruption and all fashions of it. It's because their form of the primal like flow that they are manifested as has a deep-seated necessity to overtake everything. I mean, Soul and I during our most recent stream discussed into pretty reasonable depth. Like, we really got into it, the way that like there's so much evidence all throughout the game, all throughout like lore, even in Chronicle and stuff like that, showing that if one of these primal forces overtake the others, then we find ourselves in chaos, in some form of chaos. Like, even the light itself, like, look at the zealots that the light created on alternate Draenor after the presence of the Void and after the presence of the Burning Legion were no longer there. That's when we get situations like Lightforged Mag'har and the fact that the Mag'har Orc are trying to run away and save themselves because they're sick of the Inquisition-style bullshit that's happening to them on their own home world, right? Now, see, I really agree with you on that, Apocalypse. There isn't a Void Titan yet that we know of, but there's a Titan of Arcane, there's a Titan of Chaos, there's a Titan of Life, now a Titan of Death. So all we're missing now are Titans of Light and Void. I mean, it seems like the Titan, like the construct of a Titan, the idea of a Titan seems very, very fair to assume that, like, they are the top end, like, you know, cosmic manifestation of each of these primal existences, just the exact same way that it is with Sargeras. I feel like Sargeras was almost destined to become the Demon Sultan because, like, there had to be a strong enough force to represent the side of chaos. There had to be something that had enough power and enough will to represent the side of chaos, just the same way that there are beings with the exact same amount of power, assuming that Argus was already, like, kind of you know, relatively conscious in his slumbering world soul form, which Aman'Thul during Chronicle made it seem like was possible. Maybe if Azeroth to me could either be the Void Titan or the Light Titan. I mean, honestly, I have no idea which direction it's going to go. Blizzard could take it either way, but either direction would be very, very story enriching, and I think it would do Blizzard really good to take it in some kind of direction like that. I mean, well, there already is a Titan of Death. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that there could be a necessity for a Titan of Undeath, but, like, Death and Undeath and Necromancy, at least on the cosmic chart, are all, like, in the same classification. I feel like they all kind of tie into each other just the same way that, like, Order and Arcane tie into each other, and the same way that the Burning Legion and Chaos tie into each other. I mean, I could be wrong, but at least as far as I can tell, it seems like two sides of the same coin. Apocalypse, I really, really like the speculative perspectives that you've been giving me. Like, I mean, I can very frankly see how you got on Accolon's council. You put not only are you giving me good speculation, but, like, pretty much all of it is evidential. Like, I mean, even if it is just a possibility, you state clearly that it's just a possibility and not, like, you know, not trying to make it seem more than it is. Alright, guys. Well, I am very, very sorry to cut off the stream. I have to go and pick up my wife from work. It was so good seeing all of you today, and I'm pretty sure that I have a reasonable solidified stream schedule at this point. So I am going to post that schedule with my next video in the description down below. And if you want a notification with, like, an hour's notice before I go live, go ahead and follow me on Twitter, because I only have a few followers on it so far, but I'm very, very active on my Twitter, and I make sure to keep updating it very frequently, regardless of the few people who follow it, just for those who can have accurate information. Again, thank you all so much for sticking around and for talking to me. Love every one of you, and have a fantastic day. Be safe, everybody.